are supposed to have been occupied by the vendors who were there before they were demolished as a priority. And they are nursery beds for the little businesses so that they can graduate to big businesses, go and set up their own shops or open their own supermarkets and so on. But they are not supposed to be for the big people in the municipalities or cities.
Majezi is set to visit these markets next week for a first-hand assessment as per the presidential directive.
So we met the vice president last week, and this week, yesterday actually, we met all the mayors and town clerks of the affected municipalities. There are 21 of them. And next week, we are sending teams to go and investigate this matter, market by market.
To facilitate better transportation of goods to these markets, the government has allocated 1 billion shillings to each district for road maintenance, fulfilling its pledge for the financial year 2022-2023.
This year, His Excellency the President directed us to give 1 billion shillings to each district, each municipality and city for road maintenance. And the guideline which we agreed on with Parliament and Cabinet is that this money is not for opening up new roads. It is really to cover as much ground as possible in terms of making our roads motorable, the existing roads. So that's why we call it maintenance.
However, some districts are improperly using these funds for road reconstruction instead of maintenance, according to the minister.
When you talk of rehabilitation, it's different from road maintenance. Now, we've got reports in a number of areas. Some of them have used the money for only half a kilometer, 1 kilometer. To open up new roads. That is not right. So I'm just cautioning them because both Cabinet and Parliament are already taking keen interest in this one, and we shall require a report from each cow and town clerk at the end of the financial year. How many kilometers have you covered with 1 billion? We started with 500 million. We've now disbursed an extra 500 million. So they have the money, 1 billion. Government has stuck to its promise. So we expect a report on how many kilometers have been covered with this 1 billion shillings.
Additionally, over 160 laptops have been distributed to district leaders to enhance the success of the Parish Development Model, PDM.
We have developed a system called the Parish Development Management Information System. And it required computers because one, we need to ensure that we track progress of the disbursements from below. And two, we need to track progress of the indicators of our performance right from the parish. So
the Cabinet has also declared that revenue collection will remain at district level to improve service delivery, which is expected to lead to further enhancements in the local government services.
And previously, the system, actually the collection was not doing very well, but now that we have been enrolled on ILAS, this other system, we hope now we shall collect more revenues, and these other revenues will of course be appropriated by the district council, allocated to specific and priority areas, and we shall make sure we use the local revenues much smaller as it will be, but the local revenue will be utilized very well.
Justin Nakami, UBC News.
Ugandans have been advised to always seek effective medication against malaria disease by going strictly to recognized health facilities, but also ensure adherence to medication as much as possible. According to the health experts, this will not only scale down on anti-malaria resistance, but save Ugandans from consuming substandard medicine, which currently accounts for about 20% of anti-malaria drugs on the market. Details follow.
Between January 2021 and December 2023, Makerere University College of Health Science carried out a study to establish the drivers of the increasing anti-malaria drug resistance among Ugandans that currently stands at 20%, surpassing the World Health Organization mark of 10%. Dr. Moses Ochan, a senior lecturer of pharmacology at Makerere University College of Health Science, was the lead researcher.
From the laboratory work that we did, we found parasites that are not responding to artemisinin medications. Also in the communities, when we interviewed communities, over 30% of the individuals we interviewed noted that they don't get symptom resolution every time they take this medication.
But shocking of them all is that close to 20% of the anti-malarial drugs on the market are substandard, indicating that some Ugandans are being duped into taking mere starch instead of the required content for medication.
We looked at the label claim. So we say this medicine is 20 milligrams, drug X, 120 milligrams, drug Y. So we went and assessed, is 20 milligrams actually there in these medications? And what we found that artemisinin component, to which resistance is developing much faster in Uganda, most of the times the medicines have less content than what is in the label claim, with one of the brands having nearly nothing on the tablet. And we assessed this we repeated almost 5 times. We still found nearly nothing. The artemisinin component and the lumefantrine component were close to zero.
This revelation was received with a pinch of salt, with some stakeholders questioning the role of the National Drug Authority.
I would have taken legal suit against the manufacturer of that company. We need to take that seriously. I think you cannot sell starch. I know starch is food, but that was it. Starch cannot treat the parasites. So I think we need to be very serious as Ugandans.
It is for this reason that health experts have cautioned Ugandans to take more precautions on where they seek medication, in addition to the need to fasten adherence to medication.
But also for the communities to avoid the practice of taking sub-therapeutic doses, which is a very common practice. You find people go and buy less than full dose of the treatment, buy 5 tablets, 7 tablets instead of 24.
This is backed with a call to duty bearers to up their game as regards to shielding Ugandans from substandard medicines that could be on the market.
We should up our game on making sure that the drugs that come into the country are very quality tested, and that we tighten on poor quality drugs making it to our drug shops and outlets.
Reacting to this, some officials from National Drug Authority who sought to remain anonymous blamed the issue of porous borders as the main access points for substandard medicines on the market. According to statistics, malaria remains the leading cause of sickness and death in Uganda, as it accounts for up to 40% of all outpatient visits, 25% of hospital admissions, and 14% of all hospital deaths. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
The Ugandan Coffee Development Authority, officials from Presidential CEO Forum led by Sharon Kyomugisha and Uganda Coffee Promotions Board visited and held talks with coffee farmers on emerging issues affecting the subsector in Oyama and Omoro districts.
Have not improved the earnings of farmers. UCDA, in collaboration with Presidential CEO Forum, has embarked on sensitizing people from this region to practice coffee farming. Among the farmers that have been visited is Loro Cooperative, where farmers have coffee processing machine but have no power that hinders progress. Tony Onga, the chairperson of the cooperative, says more about this.
Unfortunately, this machine was brought to us. It's now 2 years ago. We have no power supply and we cannot operate. This has costed us.
I want to appeal to prospective farmers, please. There is money in this thing. Coffee is manageable. It's not a difficult thing.
You can see the coffee is bearing well because I've done the recommended husbandry practices.
The district chairpersons of Oyama and Omoro pledged support to boost coffee farming in Acholi.
I've seen the 2 acres And we have a number of coffee farmers in this district. It is unfortunate that the coffee machine that are given to us is non-functional. It's non-functional because it is not connected to the national grid. Connecting to the national grid is about 1.5 kilometers long. That needs nearly 110 million shillings, according to the local engineer.
The value addition, it is a very big challenge. As a district, we have made a number of engagements with key stakeholders and people in government, and we have requested for coffee ala, the coffee processing machine, so that the value chain of coffee production within the district is complete.
The CEO of Presidential CEO Forum, Sharon Kyomugisha, says in this visit it has been discovered that coffee does well in Acholi.
Is coffee going to be one of those crops that will allow them to get out of poverty? I believe so. The testimonies are amazing. Amazing from one farmer to another. In Paidong, as you've mentioned, we just got to tour one of the farmers who have 27 acres. These are 27 acres. 22 of these are coffee, and he just started last year. And this is a person who is also growing coffee without any fertilizers, but just being supported by the seedlings. Now, the concern of seedlings, that is something that government, through Ministry of Agriculture, that will be able to support UCDA, that is Uganda Coffee Development Authority, to continuously support them with this seed.
Dr. Charles Gerard from UCDA pledges the authority's support to people of northern Uganda to make sure gaps are covered for them to practice coffee farming.
As UCDA, we shall continue to support farmers with value addition equipment in form of wet mills and pulpers, and if the budget allows, later, perhaps we can maybe provide haras, perhaps. It depends on budget.
This is a collaboration between UCDA and the Presidential CEO Forum, which intends to boost and discuss emerging issues affecting the subsector. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC News.
Now, the process of reviving the cooperative bank is underway, and trainings and consultations are being conducted across the country. Speaking at the closing ceremony organized by the Uganda Cooperative Alliance, where cooperators and stakeholders shared views about the bank, and the SACCO Management Minister for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngowi Gume, assured the members that government is committed to reviving Uganda Cooperative Bank.
Government has embarked on digitalizing the cooperative movement system. The idea is to check on the status of cooperative societies across the country. Speaking during the closure of a two-day sensitization meeting of cooperatives in Nigeria, Wakiso district, the Minister of State for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngowi Gume, said this will help to easily address the existing gaps among SACCOs.
What we are going to do is we are digitalizing the cooperative movement. All the cooperatives who are getting digitalized. We will know if you have not sat. We will know if you are not holding board meetings. And we will come in and caution you. But even when they may be influenced, the registrar not to call a special general meeting, and members petition me, I have the right to invoke a certain article in that cooperative act.
Ngowi also said that government has introduced a warehouse receipting system which will assist desperate farmers access loans without interferences from middlemen.
During production, when say coffee is yielding, it is a season for coffee, so the supply increases more than what? The demand. So there is a decline in the price. So what the purpose of the warehouse system is, one, to get this coffee, if the market is low, take to a warehouse. While the members of the cooperative, if you take the product, your produce at the warehouse, we are looking for market internationally. But this credit that you have taken, this product that you have taken to the warehouse, they will give you a receipt.
Minister Ngowi, however, discouraged SACCOs from giving out loans to clients at high interest rates, saying this will hinder poor ordinary Ugandans from joining the money economy.
We are saying extend credit at a one-digit figure Don't go ahead to extend the credit at 25%. That is not the purpose. The purpose is for you to extend credit at a low interest rate. One digit figure, people access resources and then they can pay back.
The Secretary General Uganda Cooperative Alliance, Ivan Asime, believes that if the bank is revived, challenges faced by cooperatives will be addressed.
Cannot progress, especially the smallholder farmers, without a bank that addresses their needs. Because this has been the cry of the many cooperators outside there. We thank the government because it has created a lot of fund for these smallholders. The agricultural credit facility, the youth livelihood fund, the women entrepreneurship fund, there is a lot of money there.
Deborah Namamonde, Mike Bakabulindi, UBC News.
Thank you so much. So our bank is going to operate.
MTN moment kutusaka Pussy live in concert kujahazi PM nyonyo mo hip hop kuna rubale Kurokanga 18 Mei kubibira ibiwena ena fefe Pussy weekend kama koma rapo na yina freestyle jangola bomwana wakulu kutebika munganiga sasa liva muchamba misana na chidonga tuli marapu melele pokinga mtwale bidi vya mtwale 5 emeza kakade emeza vya milioni 3 downloading MTN Momo app osaliwe kebijula 5 kubuli 10 ku tiketi woguli kwa MTN Momo tiketi yagula mtwale gumo ade VIP ebili chitundu tulina de bote